Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be breaking down the Brawl Cup Grand Finals. We have SK Gaming versus HMBLE. It's basically a mini worlds at this point. All the best teams from all regions around the world flew out to Texas, Dallas to compete for extra spots for their regions. So I think for one world final extra spot and a couple of LCQ spots, which if you guys know what LCQ is, it's last chance qualifiers, which is played before the world finals. And I think like 4 teams get a world finals ticket from last chance qualifiers. So just explaining things briefly here, but SK versus HMBLE is basically an EMEA monthly final. A lot of people wouldn't have liked this, but these are the best 2 teams in the world right now. EMEA are looking very, very strong, and you love to see it. So we can see Hard Rock Mine already here. We see a lot of the... Well, one thing I really love watching about pro play, even though well, let me just waffle really quick. So we've got Nita, we've got Janet, and we've got a Grey. SK were known for playing a lot of Grey and a tank, Grey and Buster in particular on certain modes. It's such a good synergy, and there's not a lot out there that just completely hard counters them. So if we're gonna go with Nita, you know, this is because I think they're pretty certain they're gonna go with a tank anyways. With a Grey, you've got to go tank, right? And if you don't go tank, you're just pretty screwed. You don't really have any sort of strategy going your way. We're going to go with a Jackie, so maybe Jackie was just better than Buster. I don't even know. I'm going to go with a Carl as well. So 2 really aggressive options, but straight the way in SK Gaming's composition here. I just think Jackie and Carl are normally countered by the same brawlers. In my mind, anyway. In my head, I think, I don't know, Rosa's terrible, but someone like Rosa would have been pretty good into both of these brawlers. But I forgot about what they went. Also, you can take a look at the best bands here. So we see Lumi and Kenji, of course, those were the best picks. We see Hank band, we see Jay Young, but we've seen a lot of same bands here. We're going to go with a Frank. So Frank is a great counter pick to Jackie. Always has been, because Frank can just easily outrange, got a lot of HP. Jackie likes to squish your brawlers just because she can burst them down quickly with a few attacks. Well, Jackie... How can Jackie kill Frank? It's just not going to happen. So the reason why I'm doing this so late as well, if you guys didn't know, I was actually in the, well, I was watching in the crowd. I was in Texas watching this event, and then I went on vacation straight away after. So this is the first time taking a look back at things, just looking at it, you know, in a normal screen, right? So we can see here already that, well, Janet versus Grey middle. It's a little bit of a weird one. This is why Janet's so good in gem grab. It's because Janet can play her as a mid or a lane, and she's just really good in the draft for that reason. But see, Ope's already got his Grey teleport set up and does get the takedown already. So in a map like this, it is fine just to put the teleport bang slap in the middle, just because with one more you're going to get into the grass really quick. And Ope's already got his hype charge, so he's playing this tremendously well so far. And you can see here, Yoshi's already trying to apply a bit of pressure. Semantic's just going to use his Frank and just use it for just pure HP, just try and get into enemy lines. It's going to take a long time for anyone basically to pinch him out. It doesn't miss that super, and the Grey teleports are going to make it very difficult for them to deal with a lot of things, especially with like Jackie teleporting in time and time again. But Janet can defend herself pretty decently with the super, with the gadget. And again, I'm pretty surprised that Luki was using the jump. It is pretty hard to use. See Joker getting the kill on Samantha there. I mean, Carl can win that matchup, but a good Frank can definitely win as well. Luki does jump, but I mean, Yoshi reads that tremendously well. It looks like a really bad jump to begin with. Maybe it was. Maybe he could have jumped somewhere else, but I just think Yoshi positioned himself so well that no matter where he jumped, it didn't really matter. So here comes the hypercharge. Gonna get 1 kill. Gonna get maybe 2 kills already there. Yoshi's gonna clean up with this hypercharge. Is he going to super away? He does super away. I was actually pretty scared that I was going to send him into the hypercharge. That would have been drastically bad. Semantic manages to kill Cole there, which is hilarious. Ope is going to go down as well. There is a hypercharge bear breathing down Yoshi's neck. The gadget just can't come down in time. Luki manages to get the reset with his super. It would have been perfect if he got the kill and then supered out, but it was just so close that he just didn't really have the time to do that. Another Semantic, what is even going on right now? What is actually happening? This is like, I think I remember reacting in the crowd. It was like the craziest interactions I've ever seen. Like, Bear's going down the galore. The Grey teleport just saving him. Miss Semantic super. Luki manages to get the gems. I don't even know how many gems are going down everywhere right now. And And I think they might just have enough time to reset again here. But Yoshi does have a lot of HP. He's probably just going to gadget straight in there. And the gem spawn is going to go down. That's going to be another kill. Smites are going to go down as well. Luki's trying his best with a hypercharge. There's just not enough time and damage to get the kills. That was so chaotic, going back and forth. Great teleports everywhere. And SK surely should manage to win this, right? Surely they win this one. And Video just can't kill Joker in time. Wow. Okay, that was insane. That was one of those insane games of gem grab I believe I've ever watched. It was just back and forth, gems being dropped everywhere. It was basically like mythic games in ranks. It was absolutely hilarious. So one thing we're trying to see how they use their okay, so they stand up. That makes a lot more sense. So they stand up, and a lot of them just have their iPad just flat out on the table or the stand or whatever. That makes more sense. All right. So again here, in terms of matchups, I think Nito obviously would prefer against Jackie just because you can outrange Jackie easily. But yeah, Smantic's going to get set on fire there. He's going to go down. Yoshi's in prime position right here. So this guy feels like the old-fashioned gem grab here, where you just want to get into the opponent's spawn, just get in there, cause chaos, and waste as much time as possible. So I'm going to move the chair back a little bit here so I've got a better view. Anyways, Smantic's going to get the kill there onto Yoshi. He just plays Frank so well. It's just really weird. Frank's not even that good in the meta, but whenever Smantic plays it, he plays it absolutely beautifully. So he's going to push forward. I mean, Joker's just being safe. He has got a hypercharge to play with. Smantic tries to read him, but Joker does well not just fully engage it. I think because Joker has 5 gems, he can't really go into that matchup the way that he wants to. Ope's going to get a hypercharge super in. Does nearly kill Luki. A really well-timed gadget. Does kill him in the end. And Ope is going absolutely crazy right now on the grade. That was such an insane play. I thought it was just setting the hypercharge super down just to get in a good position for later on. But then he gets another super and just makes the play of the round easily here. But a hypercharge super from Luki. He's gonna get the kill onto Yoshi just about. Benita Bear is doing so much work against this Gray and Jack. Like, Gray and Jackie just don't have the DPS to take it down whatsoever. Smantic with another super. Yoshi's gonna go in here. Luki jumps away and then supers. Perfect timing for him. And the gems are just all over the place again, but just one gem is needed here from a Joker. And now I think they can be reset in time. I think they can, but the Joker's gem is going to spawn right on top of him. There's just not enough time really here for Humble to get a reset whatsoever. Maybe if it's a hypercharge Janet super, just get a couple of good shots onto Joker, but SK are going to manage to win the first set. So to me, I don't know, like, Nita's kind of outdated at the moment. I mean, it worked, but a little bit outdated. The Frank as well, it can work, but I just think it was too chaotic and they just didn't have enough answers to it. So SK, they're going to win the first set there. Pretty convincing from SK. So now we're going to be jumping into the second set here. We've got Bounty Layer Cake and a good first pick here from Smantic on the Gene. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Tribe. I should really watch back some more of the Brawl Cup games because it was just so good. I think it was Tribe, and I was talking to a few people where, like, Tribe's drafts has always been really good. I should probably go over one of those games on the second channel. Let me know if you want me to go over any other games. But a big reason why Tribe lost, I believe, is because their first picks were just really weird. Like, they went Ollie first pick on Bell's Rock, if I can remember correctly. They went, like, Lily first pick. I know it was trialed and tested when the meta first came out, but it's just too risky. Where in Bounty, like, you don't need to overcomplicate things with a draft. Maybe if you're clearly the worst team, you might want to make the draft quite messy, but in this moment, just go Gene. Just go Gene. In Bounty, you can never go wrong with it. So they reply with a Gus and an Ollie. So Gus's play rate went through the roof in Brawl Cup. He was definitely underrated, especially, I think I had him in the A tier, but he was still underrated. People weren't really playing him that much. Now he's been played a lot. And then we go with the Willow. Okay, so Willow, I don't really like this pick so much, but maybe Willow is another underrated one. She did get buff a couple of months ago, I believe. She did get the hypercharge. She did get another buff last balance changes, if I remember correctly. Again, I'm completely out the loop, but if memory serves me right. And then we go with a Chester. So these are two picks where I'm like, like, I know they're going to go Gus and Ollie, and that's a lot of HP to take down, but a Chester as well, like, surely there's something into this. So I'm probably thinking, I mean, it ticks could be okay into this. I'm thinking like another thrower. Yeah, Juju. I completely forgot about Juju. It's like another thrower that's just going to be annoying. The thing is as well about Humble's composition though, they've still got a decent amount of HP. Like all of them are pretty good, so the throws aren't going to take them down that quickly. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I can't remember how this one goes, but for sure, definitely some like if you're a viewer watching this for the very first time, you'd be like, well, Willow, Chester, Bounty, are we playing the same game here? Are we playing the same game? But this is why Humble is so good at drafting. They have things that they probably save for finals days, but let's see how this one plays off. So with Layer Cake, this is a common mistake that a lot of people, probably even watching, make. You only want one sniper, and even if you have a sniper, you want it to be someone like Gus, essentially, where they're not the worst against aggro. They can wall peek pretty well. They've got good damage consistently. You don't want like a Piper here in the middle. You don't want a Mandy. You're going to get pushed back too quickly. But at least with Gus, you can pair it with a tank, and that's exactly what they went. It's what SK love. They love a support brawler, and then they go to tank straight away as a 2-3 pick. So I can see here as well. I think did Humble get the... No, they didn't. They got second pick last game. I was going to say, did they get first pick 2 games in a row? But Gene already making things work. Joker's going to get a good super off there. And then he's still going to stay in. I thought he stayed in for a little bit too long there, but he did manage... well, we managed to get Willow down the end. But Willow does have 7k HP with the shield gear. That is kind of wild. I don't think I've really played much Willow ever since the hypercharge. Maybe I need to try out more. I think the problem with Willow in the meta is just the maps. Like, if there was more thrower friendly maps on Gem Grab, Brawl Ball, Joker's already got another super and a gadget. Is he using... I wonder what gears he's using. Surely he's using... I mean, we'll see by this health regen. I don't think he's using health gear. And he's not using... Okay, he's using speed. You can clearly see. Is he using speed and gadget charge gear, perhaps? That's probably so. Oh no, he's using shield. Speed and shield then, right? Let me see when he supers in. Yeah, I think he's using speed and shield. Interesting. I always thought he was using the gadget shot. Anyway, I'm just waffling here. Now with just one blue star advantage. All of them are getting pretty cornered, but the hypercharge super from Boss is just going to be so much damage. Does get 1 kill. Yoshi's just too weak. Joker's going to go in here, but it's just not enough time. And yeah, that just seems like an easy Humble win. That seemed like an easy Humble win in the end. I was just pure waffling, but I just think it's pretty hard for them to really mount anything when they're all grouped up. Ollie, there's just nothing for Ollie to do. Like, Joker kind of looks completely lost with ideas. Like, he's just putting his arms up. It's like, what can I even do? But what can you do when there's a Gene and there's a Chester? Like, Ollie likes it as well. But the opponents are a little bit squishy when you can burst them down pretty quickly, but all of them will survive with quite a few hits. It's hard for Joker to get in there and isolate anyone. So Smartic's going to use a dive gadget, but that just allows the other team to just take him down pretty quickly. Okay, I think he's using dive gadget because of Joker. I think he can dodge Ollie's hypnotize, I'm pretty sure, with it. So, you know, an underrated way of countering it. I've also seen some people talk about using Willow's gadget to counter, you know, Kenji's hypercharge, for example. So it's just a few use cases for Willow. I mean, people are probably starving for some Willow gameplay. All 3 of the mains in the comment section, you finally get something to talk about. So now we're in a bit of a tough position here, Humble. We're going to wait for supers to have, like, the problem is here, like, Smartic's not really going to have much of a chance, or good gadget there from Joker, to super anybody, right? Like, the only chance he's going to have is if Joker gets close to him, and that's about it. That's literally about it. So Smartic, again, he's going to go into the dive. That was a bit of a risky, like, gadget there, but it does manage to stay alive. So now we're going to swap matchups here, I'm guessing. They want the Willow on the Ollie. I mean, I don't know why you would kind of want that, but Boss is going to push in here. Going to get a lot of heals from the Gene. Joker just waits for any of them to get isolated to just get a really good super and gadget combination. I really like that play from Joker. Again, with Ollie, anyone isolated, you can probably normally take down pretty quickly. So that's why you always want to group up when facing off against him, because there he's just absolutely absolute. So Luki's going to go with a pull here onto Ollie. Should go for it quicker because he's just nowhere near his gadget right now. Actually, he has got it already. He has got it. Okay. Joker's Boss is going to get the good gadget. Smartic's going to get probably taken down here. Does buy himself a little bit of time, but it's just too much going the way of SK. I think Humble just really need a good start because like they haven't really got much pinching power, have they? Like with Chester, they've got Gene that just tickles. They haven't got a lot of slaying. They need to get the lead, and hope the opponents push into them. So we can see here again, they're completely locked in. That must really hurt Semantic's back, the way he's playing, by the way. Anyhow, so in terms of Humble's strategy here, we're going to put Chester on Ollie again here. Just try and charge as much hyper charge as possible. Like Gus and Gene in the middle. Like I just feel like SK have a good comp when you think about it. But Chester does manage to get that first blue star. And they're just going to try and run with that, right? Chester's going to run with it. He's already got his super to hand here, which is fair enough. Semantic again using dive. Very risky there in the open again. It's hard to... I used to love dive, and I realized every single time I use it, pretty much, I'm just in such a vulnerable position. I just end up dying as soon as I come back up. So now, I'm just going to wait for supers. Going to wait for gene pools. They can just get a lot of free gene pools here. Like on any, I mean, actually, Joker can jump away, but once he uses his jump, there's a free pull. You know, Gus, free pull. Juju, most of the time, free pull. So now there's just a whole lot of nothing going on, and I'm just waffling. I'm just to pretend I'm having a friendly chat with you guys. We're just at the bar. We're just, you know, as friends, talking about Brawl Stars, and a great pull from Lukey. And yeah, I just don't know how they make a play here. They need Joker to get his super. Does get his super from taking damage, and finally here can start to make a little bit of a play. So Yoshi's going to pop super for himself there. Not too sure about that play. Should probably have put it on Joker. I guess he thought Joker was going to super in there, so he'd have had a shield of his own. But yeah, not much really happening here at the moment. A lot of pressure going for Humble. They're getting all the way chipped up. And fair play, they're kind of pushing them back. You don't want to be pushed back into the corner that early on this map, because you will get team wipes. So you can see here, SK are taking it slow, which is exactly how you want it in Bounty. Joker's going to go for the gadget and a jump. Does get the kill onto Chester, but he's going to be really, really weak here. Hypercharge coming down from Lukey. He's just waiting to pop it. Good super there from Semantic. And that just really... we just got the blue star there, and we just sat back the entire game. That's just all we did. And fair play to Semantic. He was doing a really good job against the enemy thrower there, considering his Willow against Juju. Like... he should have probably lost that a lot harder. So weird draft from Humble, but it worked. Yeah, not much to really else say about that. The gameplay wasn't that exciting. So let's jump into the next set. All right, guys, jumping into set number 3, we have Hank. We have Hot Zone Open Business. So funny thing is, I was actually in the crowd, like cheering on a Semantic. They looked directly at me. That was hilarious. The Hank, every single time the Hank comes out, it started to get a bit old because Hank is so good in the meta, but how could you not like a bit of Hank in pro play? So with Hank, Semantic literally taught me, well, I already kind of knew, but he just told me the ins and outs with like one-on-ones with Hank, and there aren't really a lot of, especially close range brawlers, they really can't deal with Hank, and that's quite worrying for a tank. If like because most tanks, they get killed by like a Primo or just anything kind of like that up close. Well, Hank definitely can deal with that with his super. So on Open Business, it's a very toxic map, so probably the best way to counter Hank, honestly, is through a griff, through opening up the map, outranging him and pinching him down as much as possible. So they're going to go down that route. And here I forgot what they went, so we went with a griff, so they want to pair it with something else like that. So they go with a Frank as well. So Frank is one of the best counters to the Hank. Frank is one of the best because you can just outrange him, he can stun him, but at the same time, Hank can definitely win that if it gets close enough. You know, it's the second, because Frank has to, of course, stop. He has to stop moving to shoot, right? So Hank can close the gap and then super up close to him. So there are ways that Hank can win that, but that's double wall break here. So Humble definitely got to pair Hank with something supportive. They could go with a Max. They go with a Berry here instead. So Berry is, what do you even say, underrated? I would still say he's underrated in the meta because he got a big nerf, but then it was reverted through a bug, and then he didn't get re-nerfed. So he's essentially still as powerful as before. So he's definitely like 8 in the meta, but pros are just not playing him as much as they really should. He's still absolutely insane, but that's still pretty brave. Going to Berry into a Griff and a Frank. That is very, very brave. And then they go to Clancy as well. So I can't remember this set and how it went out completely. But what I do remember is a few scrims and them trying a bit of Clancy on Hot Zone. I think Ring of Fire and Open Business. It's because it's Clancy, right? Like, Clancy's going to feed a lot of levels from Frank and Griff. He likes it open as well. He's got a new hypercharge, so there's probably not a level here where he doesn't, like, there isn't a world here where he doesn't get his levels. And Hot Zone's one of the few modes, like, I like brawlers like this in Hot Zone, because you think about other game modes, right? You're constantly like chasing down opponents, you're constantly in the 1v1 battle. With Hot Zone, the objective, of course, is always in the middle of the map. So if you're going to get people running into you, you're going to get value, you know, always going to be forced into engagements on Hot Zone, and that's where Clancy will thrive. So that's why I really like Finks as well. For that reason, there's probably a few other brawlers like that as well, but I always remember saying whenever I'm like talking about Clancy, he's good in Hot Zone for that reason. He's always going to get his levels. So we go with a Barley into Berry to counter here, but you'll see how beautifully Lukey plays things here. I believe it was this game, I could be wrong. Semantic is using the slow gadget on Hank, which, you know, I do rate. I think it's a good choice. He just misses super there, does misses milk as well. Okay, it's Semantic. You got to be playing that skin a lot better. But as I was trying to say, yeah, the slow gadget is really good against tanks and very, very underrated. It can just stop you from getting countered a lot better. So Boss already has his third level here. I didn't actually see what gadget he was using. I wasn't paying attention, but Semantic manages to wait, I think, am I seeing, yeah, so it's the Frank using the anti-stun gadget just because he knows Semantic will be using the slow. Is that correct? I think that is correct. I'm correct in saying that. But Ope manages to get the kill. No, he doesn't get a kill in time, but he does get a kill onto Boss instead. But you just see the percentages are just dwindling down so much because they're doing such a good job, Berry here, of staying alive. Lukey goes incredibly aggro, nearly manages to get the Barley down, but here we go. Hypercharge from Boss, going to deal some good damage. Semantic's just going to stay behind the wall for as long as possible here. He knows that if Frank even wants to get close, and look, you can see you can see that, like, Frank is about to kill him, but just because Frank needs 2 shots to kill Hank, by that time he's about to unload a second shot, yeah, Hank can just get close enough to super him. It's just absolutely hilarious. So Joker Bop's hypercharge here does get some decent value, but it's not anything crazy. I'm a little bit disappointed in Griff's hypercharge. I mean, I'm glad it's not as broken as I thought, just because it's pretty hard to cycle through it that many times. But a good knockback from Lukey there, a hypercharge from Boss. And wow, this is just some insane Berry gameplay, just insane synergy overall from Humble. And we just can't do anything about it. Boss managed to get his levels so quickly. I would love to rewatch that Hot Zone set because he made that look a lot easier than it should have. Nerf Hank, right? Who is that? Right, I am pausing that away from the video. They even put their ad on Twitter that they are getting a DM. They are getting a hateful DM that I can't show on this video. They all get a DM though. I'm being deadly serious. Okay, so I gotta watch Boss this time. So he's using, yeah, the star power that I always use. He's still using the gadget that I use as well. See, I tell people all of the time with Clancy, like, I know since the gadget rework, you can't technically get like infinite value with the extra token. What is it called? Extra tokens. It's a token doubler. But the problem with Clancy is that you want to get to 3rd level as soon as possible because he's so bad without it. So just use the gadget that Boss is using. Just use it. It doesn't matter that it's useless after a while. It's still better than a little farty dash, okay? It just is. Because especially if you're waiting the whole game to get your... Oh my god, Lukey just absolutely destroyed him. As I've never seen a Berry do that. He just dashed into Griff and killed him. Why would he dash into Griff? That is just asking to die. And he survived it and then cycled onto Barley as well. I've just never seen a Berry played like this. I'm taking all the notes. He's also going to pop Hypercharge very early here, but does get some good value. It's just kind of scaring him. He's using it for aura. Does use his gadget, so he can't cancel that. But Boss at his final level, he's just doing as much as he can do. Semantic as well does have a Hypercharge. He's just going to wait for the heals here. He's going to run back heal and wait for his team. So that is, again, a really good thing that Humble do, is that they don't rush things. They really don't rush things. So you see most people there, they'll just try and get some pressure, try and take on like 3 people. Svante he just waited. He just waited for boss to respawn to get into position. And that's how you come back. That is just how you come back. You can't do things completely on your... I mean, maybe you have to in ranked, but oh, the snipe from Semantic. The angle, it was just absolutely beautiful. There's been so many super snipes with Hank over the Brawl Cup season. And we see the hypercharge here from Clancy. He's just waiting for as long as possible and just completely deletes everything. Cycles it through again. And that's going to be Humble winning it. So again, a really weird but good draft from Humble overall. It's just like they found something. They knew it was going to work. They probably hit it in scrims or whatever. And it just worked to perfection. So really fair play from them. Now they are 2 sets to 1 up. Let's jump into the next one. Guys, jumping into set number 4, we have Knockout Bells Rock, and see again a good first pick with Gus right here. Gus with a hypercharge has just been a little bit better in the meta. Hypercharge super isn't anything crazy. I don't even think it's that worthwhile investing in if like you have 5,000 coins, but it's just still good, especially in Knockout, as more of his support sniper brawlers do get hypercharges. Just makes it a little bit easier, more tempting to pick them. So they go with the Angelo. So I really like the Angelo pick, especially in Bells Rock. There's a lot of walls, even though there's no water, there's a lot of walls which Angelo can just pierce through, just get so much pressure. It's really hard to kill an Angelo. They go with a Buster again. So Humble, if they've done their homework, especially after talking to Semantic, I think on the day before the finals, he was also, I was literally saying, why did they play so much Buster, blah blah blah, and he was literally like, well, like, surely that just played it so much, like if they would have done no homework, they would have known how to counter it by this rate, right? That's why they banned the grey for right there. We see a double Hank ban, we see a Kit ban. Kit is also good as a last pick, so that's probably why they're banning the Kit. And they go with a Tick. So Tick is just pretty annoying overall, and we go with RT as well. So what I really like about this Humble composition is that you've got Gus and RT that can actually push forward as a sniper. They've both got a good amount of HP. They can push forward and they can create pressure. That's what you want on Knockout. There's too much Piper, too much Nanny, etc. being played. There needs to be more brawlers like this being played on Knockout and Bells Rock. I know they're not such carry brawlers, but they're just so good at positioning. You need it at Knockout. I say it time and time again. You do need some good presence. So we've got Buster already. So they go with a Piper themselves here. So I don't mind this Piper pick so much later on in the draft, because you've got Piper against RT and Gus, and it's not even as big as a counter as it used to be. Like Piper, when I think she first got a hypercharge and that damage buff, must have been like a year ago now, she would just be insane into all snipers. Now as meta's starting to evolve, she's not as good. So I guess Piper's really good here as well for the wall break against a Tick, but then again, you kind of don't want to break open the wall when you've got a Buster on your team. So we've got 2 like long range snipers here against like 2 snipers, but like to push up. Angelo at least has presence though. He can push up. You can see already with the pierce. And I just don't understand like how pros are so good at Angelo. I must just be the worst Angelo in the world. Like I thought I was a decent Angelo. Then I watched the pros play him. They like hit every pierce gadget. They hit absolutely everything. See here Yoshi as well. He's tapping a little bit. It's really hard to consistently. I think what I'm doing wrong with Angelo is that I always look for the long shot. I think I just need to release the shot when I think I'm going to hit something. I'm always, I don't know what the word is, like I'm stubborn. I want to get the most value possible every single time, but that's not how to do things. You just need to slowly build up your super. The pierce gadget as well, a good block from Lukey. You know what? Tick isn't as bad as I thought against Angelo, because you could just use your gadget in retaliation to block out a lot of that damage. You need good timing, but they're pros. Lukey's like the best player in the world at the moment. So here we go. So with the Buster, they're not really grouping up as much here with him. So he's not really getting the most value here. There's also not any brawlers with a lot of projectiles, so you can't get the most value here. Also, Buster. Ooh, okay, good gadget there. Does actually get taken down. I don't even know what is happening right now. Now there's boss versus Yoshi in a 1 versus 1. He's going to wait as long as possible to use his legs. And maybe with the pierce, he could have done something, but that's just really well played from Boss. Nice and calculated. A lot of people would have panicked in that situation, but he didn't panic and he clutched up. What I was going to say about Buster is that he's going to really struggle to confirm any kills here. Like, you think about Buster, he wants to push up, block projectiles, and then when he pulls someone in, normally he can 2 or 3 shot them in that combination. But with Gus and RT, they have a lot of HP, and Gus with the shield as well, so I don't mind Humble's composition into this. So Luki again with well-timed gadget, he's going to block that. Also, I think RT and Tick do have a good combo. Wow, Luki actually nearly got completely tapped up there. Boss doing such a good job of just getting some pressure, just tapping the opponents down as much as possible. Yeah, but Tick and RT have a good combination, just because any sort of like tickle damage paired with RT, it's just really good. That's why RT is paired well with Gene. So Yoshi's going to use the Pierce gadget into Tick right here, but it's not going to do a whole lot. It's going to make him like weak, but there's no way SK can actually finish off the kill. So hypercharge for Luki in the dying moments will be good. Yoshi's already got his hypercharge sorted. Ope has his hypercharge as well, so it's looking good for SK. Joker with an early gadget as well. Yoshi does take down that Tick hypercharge, and it's looking really good for SK right now. With Semantic being one shot, he's finally going to go down. Luke is going to go really weak as well. That was a really well-timed gadget. There's just too much HP on the side of SK, and we're going to win that one. So I just laugh because obviously I'm playing Legendary 1 ranks at a minute because I just haven't played any Brawl Stars. And like the differences in gameplay, like it's hilarious. Like knockout hardly ever goes down to the final like little bit, but in pro play it's always this last it's always the last few seconds all the action happens. Well, not always, but you know what I mean. And especially when like basically there's like 6 players alive in that little final circle. It's just hilarious to watch because it's so like it looks chaotic, but it's also organized chaos. So Joker has to pop his hypercharge here. Tries to get a couple of snipes. I believe he can 2-tap Gus with his hypercharge popped, so that's probably why he went for it. But of course now it is completely wasted. SK, well, I was going to say SK Ope trying to juke out Semantic in the open, but of course with a Gus it's really easy just to land your shots. Hypercharge as well for him. Ope is having to use his super to push him back a little bit here. Luki with the Tick head. Yoshi's going to be pretty weak as well. He's got no super to heal himself up. But now all the pressure is on the side of SK. Really well timed hypercharge there. There's just no pressure. All of them are just weak at the wrong time. And Humble can finish off the kills and win the game. So in the end, I think that came from... I wasn't watching... I literally was watching Semantic the whole time. He was just doing his job. And then I think he was the one that tapped Yoshi. Whoever got Yoshi weak was the reason why they won that round. Because he had to... avoid his matchup. He had to run all the way down left side, had to heal up, and the gas just closed in. It was just wrong timing. So Yoshi going for the Pierce completely misses here. So we can see the matchups. This is pretty interesting what they're trying to do in terms of lane swaps. I think Boss can just go for whatever matchup, but again you see here like RT can push up. You need to push up in knockout. You can't just sit and be scared of your matchup, especially in this situation. RT has a lot of HP. It's gonna take Piper 3, maybe even 4 taps. You've got to be really, really bad at Brawl Stars if you just plain and simple get tapped like that in the open. Just juke a few shots. So all you have to do is juke 1 shot, 2 shots maybe even, and you could push up to the wall really easily. And again, Gus is gonna push up to the wall. Luke is gonna stay behind the wall as well. And Ope is farming some hypercharge up, which is fair enough, but SK just aren't really landed enough shots here. I mean, Ope has to use his super. I don't think he minds using his super in that situation. He already has a hypercharge farmed up from just sitting in spawn, which is just crazy to me. I feel like they need to nerf that for sure. But he's going to pop hypercharge. It's going to help him get a few shots onto Boss. Boss is going to pop his super, and that's going to make him stay alive in that situation. And now the ticket is closing in, and they can't do anything about it. That actually looked really bad for Humble. And then it just looked like light work. Boss, again, Boss is... Well, it's not really underrated because he's a world champion, but I rarely ever see Boss make any mistakes. He's just playing RT so cleanly. Like, every single time with his split legs, it's at the perfect moment. You just love to see it. The synergy from Humble have been absolutely insane. But SK... Again, all event, they have been absolutely crazy. I just feel like the draft is just perfect for Humble every single time. Like, Buster's just completely isolated. There's no support for him. The hypercharge tickets are going to come out, but Ope is in the open. He gets taken out as well. And now it's a 2 versus 3 situation here. Luki's going to use his gadget and just run into Yoshi. He's going to get the takedown as well with the super. And now Joker in a 1 versus 3 situation. It's pretty much impossible for him to clutch. He does get 1 kill. The world champion pins are coming out from Humble. Man, that's pretty much going to be GG. There's nothing he can do. The gas is closing in. He's trying his hardest, but against 2 pros, it's just not going to happen. And that's going to be it. Humble are your champions again. So I predicted Humble to win this Brawl Cup. I got it right. I mean, it's not really like the craziest prediction right, but a lot of people did predict Zeta, SK. But I just think Humble, they still look good all year. It's just something about monthly finals that can never like clutch out. but when it comes down to land setting, they just switch on as a team. So that is going to be it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.